So good morning. Obviously, the most important job I have is making sure our city is safe. We got a wonderful team that works on that I'm pleased to be part of. Last week, a week ago was the inaugural activities, and after our warm, tropical swearing in that we had outside, the very first thing I did was go over and visit with the chief and his good team, and then on Tuesday morning, visited with all of the public safety team, wanting to make sure that the community understands that I know that public safety is our #1 job here. So I hope everybody understands that in Louisville that we've got an extremely dedicated group of men and women in uniform serving the citizens, from police to fire to EMS, and we should really stop and thank them all whenever we get the chance. So often we take the good work that everybody does for granted, and it only takes a second to stop and say thank you, but what that means to people goes a long way, so let's all remember that. Now, I know that in the past, the relationship between the mayor's office and the police may not have been what either party desired. That's why it's important for me and my administration to set a new tone and to signal a new day for the city, and that's what led to today's two-pronged announcement. First, as I mentioned before, many times people take police for granted. They forget to thank officers when they arrive on the scene of an accident. They forget to thank them for making neighborhoods safer, and they forget to thank them for taking criminals off the street. And in general, they just forget to thank them for their public service. So oftentimes people don't stop and say, I want to complain about that, and then you'll hear from me. If you complain, then you better be ready to step up. But there would not be that many people that are ready to step up and be police officers, primarily because they put their lives on the line every day, and sometimes that turns obviously into injury, and hopefully not very often worse than that. And that's why today I'm pleased to join the Louisville Metro Police Foundation in announcing the creation of the LMPD Officer Member in Distress Fund. This fund, which you're going to hear about more in a moment, will help officers or staff who are facing a difficult time for whatever reason, from injury on the job to financial worries at home. I want to salute G.J. Hart. G.J. is over here, and we'll be hearing from him next, and his wife Heather. G.J. is the CEO of Texas Roadhouse and the son of a police officer. We all have our stories in life, and G.J.'s being the son of a police officer certainly has been a big part of who he is. G.J. and a group of community leaders put others before themselves when they started the foundation, working in collaboration with Chief White for about 5-6 years ago, which has led to a lot of great things for the community. And if you know GJ and if you know the chief, this is just the start of something that's going to grow and become even bigger and better and bolder for our community. So in addition to the fund, the foundation is going to be launching a series of public service announcements titled, "Could You Do It? Could You Do It?" that highlight the sometimes dangerous work of the officers. Before I turn the stage over to GJ, let's watch one of these commercials.
It's 4 a.m. You've just pulled over a vehicle with stolen plates. You have no idea who's inside. You don't know if they're armed. You're not sure what you're walking into. Could you do it? Support your local police through the Louisville Metro Police Foundation.
Makes you think. That's the point. Okay, so we got a powerful message here and a series of powerful messages coming out pretty soon. So please join me in welcoming G.J. Hart, the creator of the foundation and the CEO of Texas Roadhouse. G.J. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks. Good morning, everybody. We are very excited to be here today, and thanks, Mayor Fischer. I normally call him Greg, but Mayor Fischer now, Chief White, and David Muchler, the president of the FOP. We're all here together, and we're very excited about really coming out with the Police Foundation's message. While we've been around for a few years, this is our next step to making sure the community knows that we want to save for Louisville. and it's a new day for the community to outreach to officers, and hopefully each and every officer out there that serves us will know that we care about them a little bit more. Hence the Could You Do It campaign, which you've just seen the commercial. We've got a pretty big campaign coming out over the next few months, and we're very excited about that. In addition to that, we have announced the Officer/Member in Distress Fund, which we as a foundation have funded with $25,000 so far, and if we need more than that, we certainly will find the funding to do that as well. And that fund is really in the form of being able to help officers that are in need, that have some extraordinary situations, whether it be an officer that's killed in the line of duty, hurt in the line of duty, off duty, or anything that the police department, the FOP, and others might think is necessary to help those officers. So we're very, very excited about that, and at the same time that we're launching this Could You Do It campaign. Now, just over the last few months, to give you a sense, we have made 2 of such donations already. The first one of those was to the deceased officer, Paul Pegram, and his family. We gave them a gift to provide some support for the funeral and other expenses. And most recently, we helped support Jody Speaks and his family during his time of need when he was shot in the line of duty. So both of those, hopefully we've made a little bit of difference, and while the monetary effort certainly won't do everything for them, what we do hope it does more than anything else is provide ongoing support that all the citizens of Louisville are here to support the officers who do it day in and day out, and really give us all that they have. So with all that said, you've seen the commercials. We're excited about that. We have a new website called saferlouisville.com. We encourage everyone to go to that website and see some of the activities that we're doing. There's a tremendous amount of effort and work over the last few years that we've already done, and we're excited to share those with those folks. With that, I will introduce the chief, who's been very supportive in our effort, and certainly someone who I've worked closely, who, quite frankly, a lot of officers may not know, is certainly a huge advocate to providing support to the officers, and hence why I'm so passionate about what we're doing. So, Chief, thanks very much.
Good morning. Actually, it was around 2005. Troy Riggs, who many of you know, who's now the chief in Corpus Christi, Texas, along with myself, made a visit to GJ's office to talk about a police foundation. In my prior assignment as the chief in Greensboro, we were in the process of starting a foundation. And Troy, I said, hey, this is a guy you got to meet. His father was a police officer. He's a big advocate for the police. And I know that he would be interested in talking about a foundation. So it was almost a no-brainer. I think he had it on the back of his mind even prior to me getting there. So and that's how the foundation evolved. This latest edition is a result of some tragic things that have been occurring to many of the men and women in our police department over the course of the last couple of years. GJ, Heather, and other members of the foundation thought it would be very appropriate to have this distress fund for officers that are in distress. And on behalf of the officers, I certainly want to thank you because it does come in need. There are times many of our officers, unfortunately, have to work part-time jobs in order to ensure that their family has the quality of life issues that they want them to have. So when something happens to an officer that is on duty and he's unable to work, or his wife has to take off to take care of him, it becomes a financial burden. And the foundation steps in, and I can't tell you how greatly appreciative they are. All you would have to do is listen to Jody Speaks, and he is overwhelmed by the generosity of the foundation and the support of this community and the support of his brothers and sister police officers during his trying time. You know, the other thing that the mayor has made very, very, very clear is that we need to do a better job connecting with our community and connecting with the rank and file in the police department. So one of the things that the foundation really does that I'm really excited about, not only does it show the officers internally that there are citizens in this community that really care about them, and I think that is extremely, extremely, extremely important. It also lets the community know what the men and women are doing each and every day. Now, of late, we've had some controversial things happen in our police department. Fortunately, we're very transparent and we address those issues, but sometimes people form an opinion two or three bad things represent the majority of the police department. I will tell you that 95% of the men and women on this department are out there doing the right thing every single day. Unfortunately, they're the ones that only get 10% of the attention, and the ones that are doing the wrong thing are the ones that get 90% of the attention. So this is a great thing. It is a great thing because it lets the men and women in our department know that there are citizens in our community that supports them, and it's equally as important, it lets the community know that, that the men and women in our department are out there doing the right thing. The other thing, which I need to do as the chief, which the mayor has reminded me of also, is I'm committed to doing that. I need to spend more time dealing with the troops. Recently, there was a reorganization. Part of the reason for that reorganization, or one of the advantages of that reorganization, is it will permit me to spend more time out in the community, which I spend a considerable amount of time, and with the men and women of the department to let them know that they are supported. The other thing that I'm absolutely committed to doing, certainly at the direction of the mayor and in conversation with Dave Mutchler, the FOP president, is making sure that things that we can resolve together for the greater good of the men and women of this department and for this community, we're going to make an extra effort to do that. So, Dave, I'm glad that you're here, and I would ask Dave come forward for any comments that he might have.
Good morning. The FOP is extremely appreciative and excited about this new distress fund, as well as all the other initiatives that the foundation is involved with, many of which people aren't aware of. I think the initiative sends a clear message to the men and women of the LMPD, and that message is, we've got your back. Through the foundation, citizens have the opportunity to support police officers while they're out serving and protecting us. With the assistance of Mayor Fischer and the new administration and the chief and his staff, the foundation is helping us to take a big step forward to strengthen the partnerships that exist between the police and the community. While it's a big step, hopefully it's only one of many. The new distress fund is an important pledge to the police officers of LMPD. It's also a chance for us to get together and show our appreciation to those officers. And while the mayor and his staff and the chief and his staff and the FOP may have different responsibilities associated with the officers of the LMPD, I think this helps us work toward what should be one of our common goals, and that is to support those that protect and serve us. So again, thank you very much, and the men and women are very, very appreciative of what the foundation does. Thanks.
So it's a good day, an exciting announcement. Thanks, GJ and Heather, very much. And the partnership between you all, FOP, Dave Mutchler, thank you, and Chief, thank you for the great leadership that you're showing as well. So anything we can do from the mayor's office, anything we can do to engage our citizens in that, let us know. I'm happy to take any questions.
Mayor, how can citizens donate to this distress fund?
GJ?
They can reach out on saferlouisville.com, or they certainly can call. Come to the mic so they can get some.
Yep.
Frank, you want to help me with this one? Sure. You want to do this one? Sure.
Okay, when there's a question for money, we'll bring in all the reinforcements. Here we go.
Sorry, let me introduce Frank first of all. Frank Gemley is our current executive director of the Police Foundation and done a great job, so I'm going to let him answer that question.
And you got it almost entirely. SaferLouisville.com. You can donate online, or you can call us at 565-2170.
Thank you for that very helpful question.
Where did the money come from in the foundation now?
Most of is through corporate donations as well as some fundraisers, the largest of which is a fundraiser we do in September called Boots, Badges, and Bids. It's something that we've done at our home, and I think we've done it 4 years? 4 years. And hopefully what we will do through this campaign is be able to get other businesses to be a part of the foundation as a corporate sponsor, as well as hopefully just citizens.
And what's been neat for me to observe over the last 4 years of the Boots badges and bids is how it's really grown in the community. The first one was small, and then, boy, you probably had
600 cars.
600 plus at the last one from people all over the community as well. So we're in our early stages here from a city standpoint of having the foundation of what it's going to do. And what this means, people obviously appreciate the good work of our police, as you see this growing every year.
Might there be something coming from the Fischer administration first budget to this organization?
Man, you are working it this morning. Is this guy strong or what? Well, we're going into this budget cycle about $30 million in the hole, so we're hoping that the extraordinary fundraising success of these guys will allow them to contribute to helping the greater city budget, is the angle that I had working there. But no, seriously, anything we can do, obviously, as a convener, as a consciousness riser, we will do that. We will do that, and we're just proud to have the police force that we have and the leadership that we have, great citizens like GJ and Heather and Frank behind this thing. So we'll do everything we can. Any other questions?
You want to talk about snow?
Oh, man, I thought we were going to get away from this. What are you doing asking about snow? Okay. Snow. Is it supposed to snow, or what are you hearing? Is that right? Okay. Yeah, we're expecting about 4 inches of snow or so starting this afternoon, and just a gradual, I guess, snow showers over the next 12 hours or so once that starts. Good news is we're already out brining. There's salt left over from the last event, so we should be in pretty good shape for this. But Public Works and MSD and the Parks and everybody are already out mobilized and ready to go. Public Works is around the clocks on this, yes. Okay, well, if there's no other questions, I will bid you all adieu and wish you a safe and pleasant week. Thanks to the Police Foundation, and thanks for all the officers that are here today. Thank you.